Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Clarity for Sure once again. As you all know, we have already started a new initiative, that is our SEBI Sprint program, where we are covering each and every current affairs those are relevant for your upcoming SEBI Grade A examination. So in this session, we will cover September 3rd week current affair compilations. Talking about September 1st week and 2nd week, those have been already covered in our previous sessions. You can watch the videos, right? So this is our SEBI Sprint September week 3rd session, and these are the table of contents which we are going to cover in today's session, right? These are the 8 topics which we are going to cover in today's session, and if you want the PDF of this session, you can download it with in our Telegram channel. Clear? So in this session, what we will do is we will try to solve some of the MCQs related to these topics, and at the same time I will try to give you the context and background behind those questions related to these particular topics. Clear? Now starting with our very first question of today's session, and the topic is SEBI B30 incentives and mutual fund exit load. So first let me show you from where this question has been taken from. This question has been taken from here only, right? SEBI reintroduces B30 incentives and caps mutual fund exit load. Now let's move on to question. What is the maximum exit load allowed for mutual fund schemes under SEBI's revised norms? Is it 5%, 4%, 3%, 2% or 1%? Right, these are the 5 options present over here. So what is this news is all about? So SEBI has revised the mutual fund distribution incentive structure to boost financial inclusion in smaller cities and among women investors. So SEBI has reintroduced its B30 incentives. Let's see what is this B30 incentive. SEBI will provide incentives to redistributors for bringing new individual investors, that is new PAN, from beyond top 30, that is your B30 cities. And some incentive has been already also introduced by women, for women investors as well. Now coming back to the question. The question asks कि what is the maximum exit load allowed for mutual fund schemes under SEBI's revised norms. So as you can see here, some changes has been made by SEBI as far as the exit load is concerned, right? As far as the exit load is concerned, earlier mutual fund schemes could charge up to 5% exit load, but now it has been revised to 3% only, which means previously it was 5%, now it has been reduced to 3% only. This is very important for your exam also, right? It has been reduced to 3%, which means your correct answer will be option number C, 3% only. Clear? Let's move on to our next topic. The next question, which is related to SEBI reclassifies REITs as equity for mutual fund investments. Which of the following statements about SEBI's reclassification of REITs are correct, right? So first let me show you the context behind this question. Yes, this was the news from where this question has been taken from, and these are the 5 statements present here. We have to find out the correct one here, right? The first statement is SEBI has reclassified REITs from hybrid securities to equity securities for mutual fund investments. The second statement is mutual funds now have fewer restriction in investing in REITs, real estate investment trusts. Third is REITs are now considered debt instruments under mutual fund regulations. This move could improve liquidity in REIT market, and retail investors can now access commercial real estate via mutual fund more easily. These are the 5 statements. Now, as soon as you go through the context of this news, you will find one thing, कि your third statement is absolutely Wrong. Absolutely incorrect. Why? Because SEBI has reclassified REITs as equity securities for mutual fund investments, not debt instruments. Not debt instruments, right? That's why your option number third becomes absolutely wrong. As soon as you mark this statement incorrect, your four options become eliminated by itself, which means your correct answer here will be option number A. Apart from option number third, all the four statements are absolutely correct regarding the SEBI's rates. SEBI reclassify rates as equity for mutual fund investment. Okay? So your correct answer will be option number A. Now let's move directly to our next question, that is related to Swagat 5 framework. SEBI Swagat 5 framework. You must have been aware of this particular topic. Which of the following statement about SEBI Swagat 5 framework is are correct? These are the 5 statements. It provides a single window registration process for low risk foreign investor. Absolutely correct. This is the major objective behind this particular framework, that is your Swagat 5 framework. The second statement is the framework is designed primarily for short term retail investors. Registered entities enjoy an extended validity of 10 years. It aims to attract long term global capital and stabilize FII's flow, or Swagat 5 reduces ongoing compliance requirements for trusted investors. Trusted investors. Clear? These are the 5 statements. Now one thing you must have observed कि these two statements contradict each other, 2 and 4, which means कि among these two only one will be correct, right? Because it is talking about long term and this is talking about short term, which is obviously contradictory. Okay? So let's find out which of the options are correct, which of the statements are correct. As you can see here, Swagat 5, this topic is very important. First of all, I must tell you, and single window automatic and generalized access for trusted foreign investors. This is your topic and the full form of the topic. And the framework is designed for low risk foreign investors including sovereign wealth funds, central banks, pension funds, global insurance companies and large mutual funds, which means your first statement is absolutely correct, right? It provides a single window registration process for low risk foreign investor. Absolutely correct. Okay. Now the framework is designed primarily for short term retail investor is absolutely wrong, because here you can see registered entities under this framework will be benefited from an extended registration validity of 10 years, providing greater stability and predictability for long term investments, right? Long term investment, not short term, which means your option number 2 is absolutely wrong, right? As soon as you mark this incorrect, your 3 options become eliminated by itself. Now you just need to find out your third statement is correct or not, right? Registered entities enjoy an extended validity of 10 years. Absolutely correct, because here you can see registered entities under this framework will benefit from extended registration under validity of 10 years, which means your option number 3 is also correct. Your correct answer here will be option number A, 1, 3, 4 and 5 only. Okay, option number A is your correct answer. Clear? Let's directly move on to our next question. Question number 4. And this is related to SEBI's plan broaden participation in non-agriculture commodity derivatives. And let's see what is this MCX commodity derivatives. SEBI plans to broaden participation in non-agriculture commodity derivatives. Now, the question is MCX, Multi Commodities Exchange initiatives under SEBI's reform include participation, expansion in metal contracts for statement number 1, large and small to medium metal producer and consumers, broker members, investors and mutual funds, banks as lenders and market participants, and farmers and agriculture cooperative. These are our 4 statements. Let me show you what is this MCX, that is multi commodity exchange. So MCX is India's leading commodity derivative exchange. What is this commodity derivative? As you can see here, India's commodity derivative market involves standardized financial contracts like future and options whose value is derived from the commodity जैसे कि gold, oil and agriculture products. ठीक है, this is about India's commodity derivative market, and this MCX is India's leading commodity derivative exchange offering future and options on a wide range of commodities like metals, energy, bullion and agriculture commodities. Now the question is कि MCX initiative under SEBI's reform include participation expansion in metal contracts for large and small to medium metal producer and consumers. Here you can see large and small to medium metal producer and consumer, which means your option number 1, statement number 1 is correct. Second is broker, members, investor and mutual fund. Yes, absolutely correct. Banks and lenders and market participants. As you can see, banks can support the ecosystem as lenders, corporate bankers and market participants. It is also correct. But there is no any clue about the farmers and agriculture cooperatives, right? So your option number 4, statement number 4 is incorrect. Option number 4 is incorrect, which means option number C, that is 1, 2 and 3 only is your correct answer of question number 4. Clear? Now next question, SEBI and RBI corporate bond index derivatives. Cash settled corporate bond index futures, that is your CBIF, are settled by physical deliver of underlying bonds settled in cash based on difference between contract price and final index value, only available for government bonds, or only traded over the counter OTC settled via foreign currency. These are the 5 options. You have to tell me what is this cash settled corporate bond index futures is, right? And let's find out what is this. Yeah, cash settled corporate bond index future. So what is it? These are derivative contracts. These are derivative contracts based on corporate bond index, allowing investors to take positions on the performance of a basket of high quality corporate bonds. High quality corporate bonds. So the correct answer will be option number B, settled in cash based on difference between contracts price and final index value. Here you can see this statement is clearly written over here. Cash settled, no physical delivery of bonds occurs. Settlements are made in cash based on the difference between the contract price and final index value at maturity. ठीक है? So which means your option number B is the correct definition of cash settled corporate bond index future, that is your CBIF. Clear? Now last but not the least, match the following SEBI related acts regulation with their purpose. The first one is SEBI Act 1992. The second one is PFUTB regulation 2003, Depository Act 1996 or FPI regulation 2019. Right, what will be the correct match of these? SEBI Act is related to what? SEBI Act is related to establishes SEBI as market regulator, protect investor, in order to protect investors. So पहला का B, first का B. Second का PFUTB regulation 2003. It is related. It is for preventing the price rigging, insider trading and circular trading. Second का is your A, right? Third one is Depositories Act of 1996. It is to provide framework for dematerialization and depositories. Third, C. And the fourth one is obviously D. FPI Regulation 2019. It is to regulate foreign institutional investor FIIs in Indian securities. In Indian securities. Fourth, D. So which options match the sequence here? 1B, 2, A, 3, C, 4, D. Yes. Option number A is your correct answer. Clear? And these are the other important acts of SEBI which are very, very important for your examination. Right? These are the important SEBI acts and regulations for your SEBI examination. You just need to go through this PDF once in order to get understanding about the things. Clear? So that's it for the session, and this is our SEBI Sprint Mentorship Program where you can enhance your preparation of SEBI Grade A. You can simply go to our website, that is www.c4scourses.in. There you will find the course section and you can directly enroll in this SEBI Sprint Mentorship Program. Clear? So that's it for the session. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, do subscribe our YouTube channel, follow us on Telegram and Instagram as well for daily updates. Thank you so much.